recording right now, right?
Where's that one square one you like so much? The blockhead.
No, I like this one. Hey,
yeah.
what's up, guys? We got lots of camera effects going on in this podcast.
You should not say, there's no camera effects. What's wrong?
Yeah, exactly. That's my face. Are you making fun of me?
Yeah.
That's what my face actually looks like.
Okay,
Anyways.
I think I broke it.
I'm streaming right now, by the way, they're calling. We haven't officially started this podcast, but, you know, I'm streaming it right now, so.
Ooh.
I can't, my mouth is so huge, I don't.
Interesting.
You would make a man very happy, that's all I'm saying.
Alright, let's get rid of this.
Hey.
I'm just gonna stand like this all day.
Are you
Alright,
streaming
so you guys-
video yet, or just
Yeah,
audio?
dude. No, I'm streaming video too.
Okay.
I like the toque, by the way. So we may as well get
Nice.
this started. What the hell? This is, you know, NGT Podcast. We don't actually have, like, a name. I mean, unless we want to keep NGT Podcast. I don't know. But this is the pilot episode, so I'm sure we're going to have some technical difficulties. Bear with us. Whatever. And who do we have here? Well, me. I'm Spiderbite. Who else we got here? Come on.
I'm Hypermole.
I'm Bentley.
Oh crap! That means I'm calling, man.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
I always get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
what she said.
This is something we've been talking about for quite some time, haven't we? Like, we'd sit here a lot of nights. I don't know, probably not with Colin, but after, like, playing zombies or something, we just sit here and shoot the crap for hours. And we talked about doing a podcast back in November, and you know, it just kept going off and getting put off. And I thought, well, why not try it out? And we'll try our first one tonight and see what you guys think and how you guys like it. And Meatwagon is creepy looking, apparently, on our podcast document. I like the shirt, though. I like the shirt. That's it. That's like a very American shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an eagle holding a 50 BMG, a 50 cal sniper rifle.
Oh, nice.
It was my local gun shop, but they got run out of California, so.
Oh,
So it got rid of
really?
the olive branch of peace, basically. Like,
Yeah.
get it. Give me the gun.
And Colin looks like he's pretty cold there in his location.
Yeah, it's minus 25 Celsius here. Makes it minus 13 Fahrenheit, I guess. And, you know, I have expensive tastes, so I have to cut back, and the heating bill just had to suffer this month. So,
Dude, we've had probably one of the mildest winters we've ever had here. It's been
no,
like
today it was
crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not been too bad here this year, but today the wind and it hit where I would expect it to be this time of year.
Nice.
I
So,
got some bourbon to keep warm though. So,
Yeah,
attaboy. So we kind of wanted this podcast to focus on obviously gaming, well, duh, and really like the main games that we sort of play, even if some of us haven't played some of these games in some time. Meatwagon. So we'll
State of the
typically be
Minecraft
covering.
community.
Yeah, we'll typically be covering Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, Minecraft, and other things that come up, other games, other topics of interest, and really try and stay abreast of. I said abreast. Abreast of current topics. Oh, Hyper, stop!
Well,
Come on, you can do that. You can do that later, all right? You can play some Rock Band. So just try and keep on top of the press. No, on top of goings on with these games. What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
why it's there.
demonstrating the tack light.
Serious time.
That's exactly the tack light Battlefield 3. It's like the power of the sun.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Oh. That's about right.
I hope you fry your camera.
Oh
See
my
See
God.
when you're driving taxis or cabs, whatever you would call it, that's the most handy thing you'll ever have. A
I
3
bet.
battery torch. What?
Oh.
If you get stuck out somewhere, you've got a light, and if somebody wants you, yeah, fucking.
Excellent. Anyway, so yeah, we wanted to I guess start off with Modern Warfare 3, and I know Hyper, dude, you've been tearing it up Modern Warfare 3, man. You're like what, 10th prestige?
Yes.
The only one of us that
about...
is.
What?
How long? How long?
Basically mid-January, I hit the top level.
What?
Dude,
So it took me like just over 2 months to max out.
Long
my
enough?
rank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I know. It took me a week to do it in Battlefield 3, basically. So I worked hard. I got there eventually.
Oh, I hear you had a nice 14-hour session in Battlefield 3. I think you had that on your profile in PS3 or something at one point.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
Nice.
13 hours. 13 hours straight.
You're a beast. You're a beast. So, anyways, some of the stuff that's been kind of recent on Modern Warfare 3, obviously they've started including some of the community playlists. They started with Drop Zone, and then very recently they dropped Drop Zone and replaced it with Infected, and there was a big arms up about that, and I guess everybody was tweeting at your favorite person in the world, Hyper, Robert Bowling, about what the hell did you do? Drop Zone, put it back in. And I believe they actually put it back in now, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, went in last night.
So
Went back in last night.
it's kind of funny because I watch some of your, obviously I have your tweets on my feed on Twitter, and up until about 2 weeks ago, all I see are these rage tweets. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Robert Bowling, you guys are the worst. Infinity Ward, blah. And then all of a sudden, it's like I see these tweets, and it's like, oh my God, you guys did an amazing patch. The shotguns are awesome, and this is great. And then you're like, and I'm gonna go be sick. I'm gonna go be sick now.
Yeah,
because I was all nice.
I had to go wash.
You had to go wash.
The filth off.
Yeah, I felt wrong after complimenting them for like a whole 3 seconds of my life. No,
Yeah.
the patch the patch that we had to wait for a couple weeks, they improved the voice communications, which they did. It's at a good standard now. In other words, it's intelligible. The shotguns were in desperate need because I'm a shotgun guy. I'd be a terrifying American. That's all I'm saying. They made them very usable now, and they dropped the striker down a little bit. It's still overpowered, but it's basically because it's the full. You can just spam that trigger and go crazy as fast. However fast your trigger finger is, as fast as it fires. But the shotguns are now usable. The SPAS is, as far as I've been told, I've not unlocked it yet, but when you hit the proficiency range or damage, it basically turns the SPAS almost to the Modern Warfare 2 standard again.
Right.
So it's... I've been messing about with the shotguns. I mean, the KSG, I'm working on SPAS. The A12 has had a little bit of a range improvement, and it's now decent as a primary. And as far as I know, the model's still the most awkward to use because unlike Modern Warfare 2, the cock animation, like the SPAS and the model, is not improved with sleight of hand.
I'm glad you're keeping abreast of the cock animations.
I was thinking reload animation, but yeah, good. Each his own.
I was to keep it clean, and I'm staying to that.
That's clean. Good job, man. Good job. So, do you think they're actually, I know we have discussions about these community managers actually listening to the community and maybe listening to the wrong parts of the community, perhaps? Thank you. Do you think they're starting to get it? I know there was just all kinds of lag issues, and there were so many patches for lag, but to see you come on and tweet that they're making progress, like, do you think this is kind of a turnaround?
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
All right.
When you're starving and somebody throws you a cracker, you're going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? It's not a steak, it's a cracker.
Minutes.
Yeah, so...
The game, right, I'll give you a bad thing, right? They did patch the spawn system recently, right? Now, basically what they said is say goodbye to revenge spawn killing. What this has actually done, and Demolition is absolutely the worst for it. Now, you know the game types that you spawn on opposite ends of the map. But see if even just one person pushes into that enemy spawn, the spawn immediately flips with no comprehension of any other thing. It literally it'll switch to behind you. Like I've been in Arcaden or Arcaden, whatever you want to call it, and I've been aiming at the front door of the actual mall itself, and what happens is I've been shooting out that door, got a couple kills, one of my teammates is pushed out past the front door. Now the game obviously thinks, okay, he can see people spawning, and they spawned directly behind me, walked through a door and took me out. So as far as I'm concerned, they've broken their spawns a little bit more. And what drives me absolutely crazy is the fact that it's still, what are we now, 5 games into this, probably this base build of a spawn system, and it's still not working.
Well, and I mean, Modern Warfare 3 has been out since November. I mean, you know, you're talking
but
3 months.
I'm talking 3 months for one game, but they've never had a spawn system work yet. And
well, I noticed.
Sorry, go.
No, I noticed in Free For All. I was playing some Free For All last week, and just going agency style, and it's really noticeable, like for the spawns there, because half the time you're spawning, you know, within a very proximate vicinity to the guy that just killed you. You know which way he's heading. He's obviously going in a direction. He kills you. You see him continuing in that direction. You know exactly where he's going, and you're spawning like in very close proximity to that same position. And it's so easy just to do, like you said, the revenge kill. It's so easy to do. Yeah.
Well, that's what they said they were taking out the game, the revenge spawn killing system, because that was obviously built into it. That you spawned close by so you could actually have that continuous battle. And with them taking this out, and I've not really noticed it too much in other game types like Domination, because they've got kind of locked spawn areas. If you own a flag, it normally spawns you around that flag. But with Demolition, it's just a free-for-all. Like, I've seen spawns flip constantly. You have no idea where they're coming from at any given point. Even though, like, the way we've now worked it out is, and it works nicely on attacking, but it's horrible on defense. If you basically mass push into a bomb site, it displaces their spawn basically directly across the opposite end of the map. So if you basically get 2 or 3 players in amongst that bomb site and clear it out, the enemy team are spawning a mile away from it. And if you've got decent players, which I am, and it basically forces them that they'll never get back in. It's very difficult for them to push back into that area. And
it did that in Modern Warfare 2. I played a lot of sabotage, and there was like 2 distinct spawns, right? So if you pushed in and you got your team in around their bomb and planted, it pushed them out to their secondary spawn. They're having to fight their way back into their bomb site, right?
Yeah.
So that was going on even back in Modern Warfare 2. But the way I look at this is you have a choice, right? Small maps, fast action, people spread out everywhere. You either spawn trap or you get spawned on. You can't. There's like nowhere in between. If you fix the spawns, you're gonna trap them way too easy. You got to spread them out, and when they're spread out and you're spread out and the maps are pretty small, fast action.
I don't mind spawn traps in that game because I normally weasel my way out somewhere or another. Like, I've played games where I'm not solo in there, and it bugs me. I will say it bugs me that I can break out of a spawn trap, but the rest of my team can't manage it. And by the time I push out, maybe try to capture a flag, a whole team floods on top of me. But it's hopefully, I keep just saying to myself, hopefully it's enough to just get out, distract the team, and hopefully more of my teammates manage to get out. But most of the time it doesn't work, and hence the reason I normally don't play solo anymore, which is why I've always got. Sorry, go.
No, so what do you guys think, about the community pushing for these changes? I mean, the problem that I have is that usually the ones who are louder, i.e., and this is typical, like particularly
No,
on YouTube, the ones with the most followers getting everybody to complain about a specific thing are the things that end up getting changed, and it's not necessarily for the better. It's just based on, you know, just a handful group of people, what they think, and they just get everybody to go and spam. And I think they're talking about that in the chat room with infection. I'm not saying adding infection as a game type in the community playlist is bad. I'm just saying that you know, I guess I take an example of quick scoping, right? I mean, it was taken out of Black Ops, and you know, there's this huge outcry by all these quick scopers, and now it's back, right? You know, I'm not saying it's bad, but you know, what's the you know, the role of the developer and the role of the community managers to bring that to the development team? I mean, you got to wonder if that's really the correct way to do that, to bring that to you know, to add this to the playlist or to make these changes to the game.
I personally don't think that the community managers listen closely enough. When people certainly ask for things, they sometimes don't react quick enough. And it's like the whole Akimbo FMG thing. It took 3 months for them to even do a little thing about it, and they released a patch on Xbox which actually increased the fire rate on these things. It was so stupid. They actually tried to patch it so it decreased the fire rate, but for some reason it increased the fire rate, and it's just like a monkey mistake. Plus or minus, I can't remember. Plus. These little things bug me, and it just makes me think, really, what's going through their minds to make these simple mistakes? I mean, when people are playtesting these things, I mean, I don't understand how people can playtest, like playing with the shotguns, how they could think that was ever balanced. How they thought the Type 95 was a balanced weapon when even with a silencer on it at distance, it will still drop you in one burst. Things like that. It's like,
do you think a beta would have helped? A public beta. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
really
think so.
Don't know. I don't think so either.
I mean, it took 3 months to get to this point, right? So I mean, you know, running a public beta for 2 weeks really isn't going to do much for you.
It's one of these games now that they're never going to do it because they know they're going to get sales no matter what. That's as simple as that. They don't care enough about getting it perfect on day of release now. It happens with most games now. Most games come out broken because they've either got highly non-budgetable, sorry, I'm trying to think of the proper term, but they've got a solid set release date by a publisher, and they're like, right, okay, it's in a working state, you can play it, it's not perfect, we'll patch it. And it's that kind of horrible culture now we've kind of moved into, which makes me just look at companies like Blizzard, who are like, we'll release a game when it's ready. Yeah, fans can complain, bitch and moan all they want, but they'll all buy it and love it because they waited that little extra time and came out with a perfect game.
Well, and they're really the one out there that, you know, is it because of the whole World of Warcraft that they're able to do that? They have the power to do that. They have the clout to do that. Does anybody else have that?
No.
You know, and to delay, you know, a Call of Duty title, are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Push it out to a January release. I think Eric Hirschberg would roll over on that one, wouldn't he?
Well, they're going to have to do something soon because they need to update it. It's starting to look tired and old, graphical wise.
Yeah.
So, and they've got a brand new ID Tech engine out with Rage, which, oh god, with that. So basically, what they'll need to do is take that and actually build the next. Maybe not. Black Ops 2 is definitely not going to be on it, but the next Infinity Ward game needs to be upgraded because.
And that's unfortunate because Rage. I mean, I played through that game a fair bit, and you know, from a video production standpoint, and you know, the action that's going on, it's not anywhere near a Call of Duty title. But I tell you, the first person shooting aspect of that game was pretty stellar. I gotta admit, I'll admit that. I mean, it was a very, very fun game to play. So if they took that you know, that updated engine and brought it into COD.
I'll disagree with the fun part, but it does look an absolutely gorgeous game.
Yeah, it is.
It was a gorgeous look. See, whenever you went into like a dealer or a shop or something like that, see the facial animation when you're just talking to a random person. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Just a shame they ripped off another game.
I got a random question from the chat for Colin. Have you had your prostate checked yet?
Did you?
What? Sorry, I thought I'd throw that in there. Anyways, sorry.
Any volunteers?
This is a good question. No, this is a good question. So I wanted to sort of move on into this whole Elite Premium. Maybe not really focusing on the Elite Premium part of it, but more on the DLC.
Just a second now. I just realized Mike was muted, so the answer to that question is yes. And I'm a little bit younger than Spiderbite, but I'm still old enough to have a family doctor who's younger than me. So, and she's pretty cute. So I go for a prostate exam at least once a month.
Once a week.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Every time I take my kids in for a checkup, I should probably check my prostate too.
Nice. So I know you don't play Hyper. You don't play on Xbox. I did get the Elite Premium for Xbox. I've played the 2 maps that just came out. They have another map that's coming out. I believe it's next week, called Overwatch. Actually, looks a lot like High Rise from Modern Warfare 2, but different. And then they've actually announced the 2 new maps. Actually, sorry, there's 1 new map and 2 Spec Ops missions that are going to be releasing in March for Xbox Elite Premium. So the multiplayer map is called Black Box, and then 2 Spec Ops missions, Black Ice and Negotiator. And all we have right now are images, but it's just so I just find it so freaking confusing with these releases, and simply because like I have an Xbox and a PS3 and I play on both, but I mean you got to feel for the PS3 well, okay, you know, look past the PC players because they just got royally effed, but you know, PS3 players, I don't know. Go ahead, chime in.
No, because I'm just going to rant about the joke of deals by companies to not really care to a community that's brought them through everything to suddenly go, by the way, you guys need to wait longer because we signed a deal. Tough luck.
Well, it wasn't that big of a deal before when it was only a month, you know? But now with the Elite thing, it's set up like a whole tier of release dates. It could be possibly up to like 3 months or longer, right? From Xbox Elite to PS3 regulars.
Yeah,
it could be out 3 months, which you know, I don't know, whatever. I play on both systems, so it doesn't really
when is
matter
enough though? When is enough enough? Like, so we have online passes, right? For almost every new game. If you buy it used, you have to pay like $10 to get online with it. This Xbox 720 to not even allow you to play used games. I got 2 Xboxes in my house. I can't take that game from one to the next. You know, I want to play it upstairs on the TV in the family room instead of down here. So I can't, you know, it's the same thing, right?
That might be like a region lock thing on new game discs. It might be like you know, like an install code you used to get with the PC games years ago. It might be something similar to that, like a pass. You put the game in, you need to input a pass key or something like that, or like Steam where it registers that copy to you, and that's it.
As long as you can sign on any computer and play it yourself, but you can't play it on 2 at the same time or whatever it is. It could work
that's
like
fine, but it's still, you're not going to be able to sell that disc. I mean, the whole point is you can't sell that disc to somebody else. Even if you gave them such a code, they can't play it. So, I mean, there's just, you know, I don't want to get into that whole issue, but it's just everything, you know, every other day you're hearing about something new. You know, I can't sell a used freaking car anymore. You know,
Well,
is it
you're
going to come
gonna-
down to that? It's like, well, because you're hurting the manufacturer of your vehicle because you're selling a used car where that person should have bought new. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then this whole Elite Premium, and we're going to get into it, and Colin may have some comment on that about possibly EA getting into that with Battlefield 3, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But you know, when's enough enough? Like, are they really just are they gouging us or what? Like, what's the deal?
See, I've never been a big disagreeer with online passes. I don't disagree with that because I think that I can understand where they're coming from. People buying used games, the company that the publishers, the game company, they don't get anything from that used sale. They get it only when somebody buys a brand new copy. And so they found a little way getting people a little extra cash, which I really don't disagree with, because if I go and buy an old game that has some sort of pass on it, I'm maybe getting that for a third of the price that originally came out for. Paying that extra $5-10, whatever you want to call it, to get online wouldn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me, because most of the time I don't. If I'm renting a game, I'm not really interested in the online multiplayer, because you need to dedicate time into multiplayer to actually get anything out of it. Whereas single player games, you can rent them out, play them in a week's time or 2 days or whatever, depending on the length of the game, and then return it. But with this new locking out system, you're going to be basically killing off rental stores.
Yep.
They're just going to go out of business for the gaming industry. Just flat out, just because they'll not be able to rent copies because they'll be locked. They'll not be able to sell used games. It's just going to be, you're just basically killing off a large chunky business, which they've been trying to do with these online passes, just killing that business off. But
do you think they'll ever extend that to movie rentals? I mean, what's to stop them from doing that?
that's a totally different.
I mean, no, I understand that, but it's the same, same concept. I have a disc, I put it in my Xbox, I play a game. I
don't think they'll ever do that, because with online video on demand services and things like that, it's just they're making their money everywhere with that. They really do. They make their money back on that. Whereas games companies, as we all know now, is the world's leading entertainment business now. They're making more money than movie studios nowadays. So it's.
I mean, with a movie, you're gonna watch it once, twice, whatever. Well, I mean, if you rent it, and it's similar in price. It's marked down, but you go rent a movie, and it's not too far off the price that you would go pay the ticket to see the movie in the theater, right? And I'm sure that there's a mechanism for royalties from Blockbuster or whatever to make their way back to the distribution company that is promoted the movie. With the gaming industry, I don't know if that's in place when they purchase and sell used games. I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure they could do something, with a temporary pass. If you sign on with a new game under a new Xbox Live ID, they can give you like a 3-day pass for online or something like that. I mean, that would probably get past the whole rental issue, right? For at least for online or even for offline, you just have to have an online connection or something like that.
With the rental there, the Blockbuster local to me, I know for a fact there's maybe something going on in the background, because they sometimes do not sell certain games from certain game companies. I've noticed this, where I've maybe went to I really want to rent this out and really want to play it, and then go down there, we're not stocking that, and you're like, really? It's quite a big release. Yeah, we're not stocking. And you're like, there's obviously something going on in the background with these companies with the publishers. And I agree with Colin in the front that movies are just, it's just something totally different. I don't think they'll ever do anything like that. I mean, you've got region coding already, and which is a big enough deal for them to do anyway. I mean, you've got the PS3 even went as far just to say, screw it, we're not going to region lock our games. It's literally, and there's no point, because people are just going to. I think it was one of their ways to stop people jailbreaking their console originally, because people want to play imported games and things like that. So it was just a sensible option. it's one of these things. You can sit here and speculate about whatever the Xbox is. It's one of the rumors. It could have just started from a comment from an Xbox employee. It could be nothing.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows until it really happens.
Yeah.
So there's one other thing that I was going to bring up for Modern Warfare 3. We're kind of running out of time. We're trying to keep to a timeline here. But with that, the whole Elite Premium for Call of Duty, they still don't have clan operations. And I guess the latest is that clan operations are closer every day. And it's been that way since launch in November. So, you know, unfortunately, I mean, my feeling is that, you know, they oversold, obviously, on what was happening, or they sold us a product, and us, I mean, it's our fault. We went and bought all this crap, all this stuff, and without having details on what exactly it was, right? So shame on us, but you know, those clan operations are still not working, and that was obviously one of those things that was marketed as being part of COD Elite Premium.
Yeah, it's good of them to bring something that Killzone 2 had finally into their workings. It's not only took them like 6 years. I mean, it's you just gotta laugh sometimes that these kind of companies are so backwards. They're never looking forward. They really aren't.
Well, that's what bugged me even with Killzone, like Killzone 2 to Killzone 3. Like, they had all kinds of clan, you know, abilities and, you know, host your own server abilities that they just got rid of in Killzone 3, and that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you actually bothered to put that disc in your machine?
Wow.
You know what I mean, that says all about that game.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to Battlefield 3, and I'm sure we're going to hear Colin speak a little bit. But
still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a decent lead-in because just talking about COD Elite, and there was actually it was an interview. I've got the link here, where EA was it? I think it was EA or DICE. I'm pretty sure it was someone from EA. Sounds very interested in what Call of Duty has done with COD Elite, and you know, it almost sounds like it's something that EA would love to go forward with for like Battlefield.
Yeah, so here's the thing that that bugs me with that. When they were coming out with the marketing stuff for Battlefield 3, they were taking all these shots at Call of Duty above and beyond, and it was the DICE guys that were actually being interviewed at all the trade shows, and Battlelog is going to do this, and Battlelog is going to do that, and this and that, and how much are you going to charge for that? Totally free.
Yeah.
It's always going to be totally free. And so anyway, if they turn around and charge for any of those services, then I think that they're going to tick off a large portion of the community. And for me, if they have a subscription-based service where, you know, I'm one of those clowns that bought the game on 3 platforms, I better be able to, you know, pay my subscription and get my DLC 3 times over, because...
Anyway. Good luck with that, Colin.
Exactly. Exactly.
I tried to pull that with, I forget who I was talking to, for Modern Warfare 3, and he's like, no, not going to happen.
Well, so but I pre-ordered the limited edition Battlefield 3 for PC, so I got my Back to Karkan for free. I thought I had pre-ordered the limited edition through GameStop for Xbox and PS3. Turns out that they handed out limited edition cards that gave you your weapons and all that, but the games themselves with the passes inside that GameStop was selling were not limited edition.
Really?
So when I went to try and get the early DLC for PS3, no, you don't have access to that. You got to pay $14.99. So I did, because I wanted to get play the Back to Karkan maps, and then I just ripped a strip off GameStop on Twitter and copied Matros, Jinto, and like before long, boom, I got a private message. Here's your friggin' Karkan code. Just
nice. Good job, man.
Here it is for Xbox. Man. Like, sorry.
Yeah, but, I mean, I can totally understand the marketing going into the launch of these 2 games, and obviously, DICE and EA are going to play into what they see as potential weaknesses with what Call of Duty is coming out with, and what the community is saying, but. you can't look past the success that COD Elite has had. I mean, the premium of that. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but they've sold many millions of dollars worth of COD Elite Premium, and EA has to look at that and say, oh my God, what can we throw on top of Battlelog that's gonna warrant us being able to charge this kind of money, right?
Yeah, and I'm okay with paying for a service as long as something valuable comes along with it, and with Battlefield. You knew if you got the limited edition of the game that the first DLC was going to be included, but future DLCs are going to be paid content. So if there's some way to sort of link that all together so that the subscription service includes the DLCs or something like that, then I'm okay with it. But if they're going to turn around and turn Battlelog itself into some sort of paid content, then I'm not okay with that. It depends on what they package with it.
Yeah, I think that would be a mistake. I mean, trying to package an existing platform that they've already said is going to be free, like they definitely have to add something to it.
I don't think they can do that. I don't think they can do that.
Yeah, if they did that, they'd get such a. Well, if they did that, they'd get the biggest backlash they'd ever had in their lives. They would have got whiplash from it. The community would just walk away from it. Like, they Call of Duty players get it they get all their content part of their subscription, and we're having to pay extra. What the?
Yeah. I think that they're already struggling with the reaction from the community to Battlefield 3. There's different reasons for that, but I've been talking to the community managers a little bit lately, and they're kind of like, we've kind of stepped away for a little bit, and there's stuff going on, and we have to get more engaged, and I think that they've had some frustration around the fact that some of the problems have lingered for so long. So right now they're kind of fighting an uphill battle. And actually, my buddy Jay Kaiser fired an interesting fact onto Skype last night. There were more people playing Diablo 2 on the PC yesterday than there were playing Battlefield 3. And that's an 11-year-old game. And so, I mean, that's not good, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I think what's been bugging me is Battlefield 3 was supposed to be my kind of saving grace when it came out before Call of Duty, and I'm like, I know I was going to get frustrated with Call of Duty. I knew I was going to rage at it. Battlefield 3 was supposed to be my game to jump back onto and relax with because I had so much fun in Bad Company 2. But with the problems that have come out of it, and then the lack thereof support, I was expecting just constant support. And just not really seeing anything flowing out. It was just like, oh, come on, what's going on?
I think that one of the things, though, that we have to consider when it comes to Battlefield 3 and the support is that they're kind of in damage control mode a little bit, but they're also not working with an extremely mature engine either, right? So if Infinity Ward doesn't patch Modern Warfare 3 quickly, I don't see an excuse for that. You've been on the same friggin' game engine since 1982. Since the Atari, you've been on the same game engine for Call of Duty. You should be able to fix stuff quickly.
Yeah.
And Frostbite, the new Frostbite engine, that is brand new. So, I mean, they are innovating and moving ahead. Are there things that are broken? Yes. Are there things that are frustrating? Yes. But, do I have a little bit more patience for them to patch stuff? Because, I mean, I did play Call of Duty. I played a lot of Call of Duty. And I absolutely gave up after Modern Warfare 2. When you have stuff like, tack inserts into free-for-all. And I was just talking to a buddy of mine today over coffee, and he's like, all that stuff, that all came back. the things that Treyarch did right, Infinity Ward discarded. And, with having the one developer, the one studio for Battlefield, they make things better. I mean, they patched Battlefield Bad Company 2 a year and a half into it. It is going to get better with time. It's going to be, like a fine wine or single malt scotch or whatever. Yes, there are issues now, and yes, they annoy me to no end sometimes, but that game is going to continue to get better and better. and their future releases on that engine are going to continue to get better and better as it matures. But I mean, they're working with brand new technology as opposed to 6 or 7 or 8 year old technology. So I've got less patience for Infinity Ward not dealing with stuff than I do with DICE taking a few months to patch some things, even as as much as it bugs me.
I can stand by that. Yeah.
You think they're going to be involved with Medal of Honor 2? I've heard rumors about that game being in development.
Yeah. So I mean, it's rumored that that's going to be the EA announcement, one of the announcements by EA this week, as they have their big press event that presumably will also announce some DLC for Battlefield 3. But there was a screenshot leaked on Reddit or somewhere like that it was an invitation to the event and it had Medal of Honor on there. So I mean, that's an EA title. I don't know if DICE is in that or not.
Didn't copies in America? Sorry,
What's
it was just I was saying that didn't copy. I remember seeing an image before Battlefield 3 came out that copies of Battlefield 3 in America that I seen had a little logo, basically a Medal of Honor logo, basically showing the fact that it was coming. I'll need to look for that. Give me a minute and I'll look for that. But yeah, no, I remember something similar being. It was inside the book, beside the booklet, inside the copies of the Battlefield 3.
I know the converse was true, that when you got Medal of Honor, you had the little card in there inviting you to the Battlefield 3 beta. But
yeah.
I don't even remember. I just tore my copies open and fired the game in release night. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while to evolve, obviously, and I think Battlefield 3 is definitely a good start. I mean, it hasn't been everything that we hoped it would be, but I mean, like you said, I think they're trying to support it, and it's going to just take them a little bit longer.
They're not rehashing a title every year either. So I mean, Battlefield 3 is going to be the last full Battlefield game, probably for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
If they are involved in Medal of Honor 2. That'll be this year. Then presumably maybe another Bad Company game a year after that. So you're not looking at a Battlefield 4 or whatever the sequel will be, whether that's 2143 or whatever it is they're doing. You're not going to see that for 3 or 4 years out. And they'll continue to support Battlefield 3 in the meantime. So, you're going to have to judge. Unfortunately, it's kind of been a trend with with the top titles that the game kind of shipped incomplete. Some studios then go forward and patch it and complete it, and others, Infinity Ward, just leave it broken until the next one comes out, because it doesn't matter. They've already made more money than anyone else ever. So what do you need to do? We're gonna ship another one next fall. So there's not that much incentive there, right?
So the rumors about the new DLC, I thought they might have announced it by the time we did this podcast, but there's been rumors that possibly it could be like an America's map, or America map pack or whatever.
An all-American DLC map pack. Buddy of mine on Twitter we did a dual commentary on that on his channel because he suggested he had some information. And I think that we were the ones that broke that news. And MP First picked it up, and some other of the bigger Battlefield channels picked it up. And some of them credited his video, some didn't. It was his information. I was just there to look pretty. But so he has a friend who is a developer or something of the sort. And apparently there's going to be maps based in New York, San Francisco, New Jersey, and Miami, maybe? I think those are the ones that were mentioned. And then subsequently a screenshot was leaked that shows you the loading in screen where it said Conquest New York. So, maybe.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
That
would be.
The rumor, which is unconfirmed, is it would be like a summer time frame. So.
Okay. Yeah, I did see a... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that they've got to have these maps pretty much almost complete at this point, because if they've not got something in the working now, then it's going to take them 6 months to get it done. So they're obviously in the offices with some framework already in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a release date of the summer is probably a little too far out. You know, whether it is that or not, I think for the game, I think they need something a little bit sooner than that.
I think they need a patch that, you know, a big patch that corrects a lot of the community issues, followed up very, very quickly by a DLC. I think that it needs, you know, that 1-2 punch to really kick the game in the ass again. Because, you know, if you're getting played less than Diablo 2, despite the fact that there's hype around Diablo 3 coming out, not a good day for you, right? And you know, something really needs to happen. If part of their business strategy is to keep generating revenue through DLC, if people lose interest in the game, then you know, your DLC sales are going to go way, way down. I mean, people still play Battlefield 2, but I don't think people are still spending a lot of money on Battlefield 2. You know,
Maybe they should release a Battlefield 2 map pack.
Well, that was back to Karkan.
No, I mean in Battlefield 2. They should come out with a Battlefield 2 map pack for Battlefield 2, some DLC, maybe you know, get some sales.
Just reimagine some Bad Company 2 maps or Battlefield 3 maps and put them into Battlefield 2.
Honestly, if they came out with the Bad Company 2 map pack right now, I'd probably go play it.
I would. Well, I'll play anything they throw at me. I'm kind of a bit of a fanboy like that, but
yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No, stop it, Colin. All right. So that's our Battlefield 3.
They're really, really nice to me, and it's hard to not just like people back when they like you. You know, they can make a lot of mistakes, and I okay, dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
It's you got a credit on the Back to Karkan maps.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm in the credits in Back to Karkan, so
Yeah, when I found you.
I don't know what the hell I did. And the good thing is they actually misspelled my last name. So there is a guy that has my name spelled the way that they misspelled it in the credits. I pity that poor son of a bitch on Facebook. I'll tell you that.
Nice. Jeez. Cool. All right. So that's Battlefield 3. On to, I think we'll get some input here from good old Meatwagon and Bentley on our third topic of discussion, our third game, Minecraft. What's your new little catchphrase? Ear. Is that it?
I want to throw something out there for a second too. That as much as I don't play Minecraft or anything, the biggest thing I've ever been involved with on YouTube that I've lent any of my talents to is a Minecraft video made by Pyro Puncher, and I did a friggin' parody vocal of Rebecca Black's Friday.
Oh God!
And it's got 1.6 million views, and that's the biggest thing I've ever been involved with. I'm not.
I want to hear it.
Oh, sorry, no. I'm not supposed to swear.
I want to hear it, dude. Let's do it. Dude. Hey, you brought it up.
I'm not.
No. I don't want a link. I want to hear it right now.
I refuse.
Spider sings it all the time,
dude.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? My agency meets a specialist. I changed it up, and this actually, me and Cryptic were working on this. We were going to do a whole parody in Call of Duty, and it, you know, instead of fun, it was like stun. Come on, I want to hear it. Let's do it. Colin, you brought it up, dude.
Here, I'm giving you the link.
No. This is a live show, dude.
Link,
you do it live. You do it live
or nothing.
right now or nothing. I don't want to hear it on the play on your computer.
Nope.
That's all you get.
It's in the Skype chat.
That's all you get.
Alcohol in the system. We'll get them drunk next time.
Anyways, Dumb and Dumber, meet. Talk about Dumb and Dumber. What the hell are you guys doing, man? I see these videos. Every time I watch a video, right at the start, you're bashing guns or you're pushing him off something or whatever. He's falling into lava. What's going on with that? What's up?
It's like real life. I mean, that's how we were.
It's like real life. You crush his ribs in L.A., dude. Are you kidding?
In the mud.
That's the most physically abusive relationship I've ever seen. It's not even healthy.
Yeah,
or
Colin
no,
was witness to it.
Yeah, it was in San Fran. Friggin' Meatwagon gives Guns a big bear hug and crushes his ribs. It's hilarious.
He came out of the original trip, I think, to COD XP or whatever you guys were at with a dislocated shoulder, and then we go down to the LAN event on the aircraft carrier in San Fran, and he comes home with broken ribs.
Yeah. So
You
He
gotta pay
deserves
to
it,
play.
though. He does deserve it, but
Yeah.
no, it's still funny.
And
Yeah.
people
So
wonder
tell
why
us-
I
tell
say
us-
I'm scared to meet Meatwagon.
tell us some Dumb and Dumber tales there, Meatwagon.
Well, okay, so what we got going really is, and it's a little bit confusing actually for some people because we're running it on both NextGenTactics and on my channel, right? It's Meatwagon 22, and so we're running like 2 maps at a time, but every video for both maps it's switching back and forth. So like the odd episodes will be on mine, the even will be on NextGenTactics, but we're also switching the maps. So we play 2 maps at a time, and so there's a lot of videos going on. There's at least 2 a day if you're counting both channels, and the whole premise is behind the series. It's just Guns and I getting on Skype and playing these things, and this is just how it is. I mean, as stupid or funny, moronic, whatever it is, this is just how it is. So it's actually a lot of fun. We found that I would say probably with the last month, Guns' sleep schedule's all screwed up. He's been up to 3 a.m. every night. Every night. We just can't stop playing. Like
Nice.
Saturday, we
That's
played
awesome.
6 hours. We played 6
Wow.
hours of Minecraft. And it's
Jeez.
just the time flies because you're totally relaxed, having a good time, and you're just hanging out. And I think it comes through in the videos because, I mean, how rare is it for you to watch parts of your own video back and actually start busting up in laughter? And I literally do sometimes. Some of the things that he does is just ridiculous.
I do that a lot, but I love myself more than I probably should. So
There
I'm
you
just
go.
kidding.
There you go. And
I can't stand my own videos most of the time, but
I'm working on a kind of a semi-secret project, but it's based off of Minecraft and Dumb and Dumber, and I've been working a lot on that, a lot of time. And you might see a trailer or something coming out pretty soon for a neat little series that I'm going to be doing, so that should be
Nice.
pretty interesting. But yeah, that's, I mean, as far as Dumb and Dumber goes, and I've been getting a lot of requests for to get a server going. Like NextGenTactics had a server before, and we've been getting a lot of requests for a server. So there might
Interesting.
be something in the works with that too. You got to definitely stay tuned for some interesting news when it comes to Minecraft, because with Minecraft it's not really, we all play all these games, right? We all play Call of Duty, Battlefield, Minecraft, whatever it may be, across the spectrum, just because we're gamers. We all have PCs, we all have, Xboxes, we all have PS3s. And that's what makes probably the opinions or discussions of this, podcast here pretty relevant, because it should cover everybody. I know I think I can speak for pretty much everybody in here that across the board, there's no fanboy toward one thing or the other. We just like to game. We don't limit ourselves by platforms or by games. And that's what I love about Minecraft. A lot of people say, I would never play that. And then, secretly they get on and start playing like, hey, this is kind of cool. For me, the best description I can say is it takes me back to childhood when you had blocks, right? And you had blocks, Legos,
Yeah.
blocks. I had the structural metal ones where I was doing architecture and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. But it's like the core basics of being a kid or being just building something. Maybe at school or in your job, you don't get to build anything anymore, right? Your creativity is lost at work or lost at school. But with this game, as simple as it is, it brings out like crazy creativity. And then to be able to do it in multiplayer with other people in there, it's just an absolute blast. It's totally relaxing, especially when you get to punch Guns in the face
Very relaxing.
or hit him with a big bone,
Yeah. Nice.
this is going to be the
Nice.
last week that he skips this podcast, by the way. Sleep
Yeah,
schedule
yeah.
will be damned. Like,
Why
Well-
show?
And we did have an NGT server a little while back, and actually Bentley was pretty involved in that, pretty heavily involved in that. Excuse me, as were you, Meatwagon, and I know Guns, and I know you guys used to produce videos off of that server. And I think that was pre-release. That was pre the full release of Minecraft. I mean, it was just insane keeping up with the almost weekly server updates. The game would update, the servers wouldn't update as quickly. You had people updating their actual their physical install, and then they couldn't get on the server. So I think a lot of that has gone away, has it not?
Well,
Yes
I mean,
and no.
It's slowed down.
It's slowed down, but
It's definitely slowed down, but it's not gone away, and it probably won't ever go away.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
but I
it's
think
definitely slowed down for sure as far as
Yeah,
patches and updates and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
definitely not as often as it once was.
yeah.
So
well, the one thing that Meatwagon was alluding to is that a new server will be starting up soon, and it's going to be a G2PO server. And if you guys aren't aware of what G2PO is, you should be. We're
What the heck
all
is
heavily...
G2PO?
Yeah,
I don't
What
know,
is
man. It's like,
G2PO?
what does it stand for? It's like good to... I don't know. Anyways.
the 2 stands for something?
Yeah, it stands for two.
Oh,
So anyways...
I've also been lobbying them to start up a G2PO 1,000 ticket 24/7 Operation Metro Conquest server in Battlefield 3, but they're
I
not.
don't.
They're not
I
fighting.
jumped-
Ooh,
I jumped on
nice. That's a good idea,
GTA
man.
Battlefield, and my God.
That's a good idea. But anyways, for Minecraft, yes, G2PO server, we're
Sorry.
actually going to be heavily involved. I think our experiences with our old NGT server are going to benefit us here, and the method for whitelisting is actually going to be this time tied into activity on the website, which I think is pretty cool. I think what we ended up doing before was just trying to whitelist the whole slew of people off of video comments, and it just ended up destroying the server. And coupled with the weekly updates and whatnot, it just kind of fell apart. I mean, you got to have 20 people modding the thing 24/7. Where I think having this tied back to actual activity on the site, it's tied back to people's IDs on the site. So there is a little bit of you start griefing, it does tie back. There are repercussions there. So you get banned off the server. There are some repercussions. So I think a lot of the griefing that we had on the old server would eventually go away with this one, or it's going to be a lot reduced quite a bit.
I would think so, because we
Everybody
pretty
nod.
much on the other one we had we had everyone and their girlfriend on there, and cousins and everything. So,
But I like a little TNT time.
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you want some of that, but I think it'll be a good thing. So look for that, guys. And like I said, it's going to be tied into activity on the site. And I think the way it's going to be set up is that sort of on a monthly basis, you just look at activity on the site, and we'd automatically whitelist X number of people that have been active on the site that have entered their Minecraft ID in their profiles. And that's not there yet. That will be implemented probably next week sometime. So that's something to look forward to. Maybe
I'll be right back in a second,
sure,
guys. I hear a ruckus upstairs.
Roger that.
Ooh.
the baby's
Roger
Okay.
that.
and hopefully we can get you guys on. I think in talking to Guns that it may there may be a possibility of getting you guys on at a set time, on a set day every week or something like that. So people come on and we can interact and do what you guys. I mean, you guys used to record some of your Dumb and Dumber stuff off the old server.
Yeah, we did. We built a lot of stuff, and we recorded videos and smacked people around. It was fun.
lit them on fire. You forgot about that aspect.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we'd smite
yeah.
people with fire and
And
walk
lightning.
up behind them and put TNT down behind them. But that was back in the day
Nice.
where you could hit the TNT and it would blow up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, we got some other guys some other partners I think that are either on GTPO or will be soon that are involved in Minecraft as well. So I think it'll be a nice community server for the site. So one other interesting thing that I saw, and this is pretty cool. I think this is pretty cool where a lot of these indie guys are getting together. They're not going the way of the big mighty publisher. I saw a tweet, and it was actually reported on by I saw it on Joystick actually, where the developer or the indie developer of was it Psychonauts?
Yeah, Psychonauts.
Yeah,
Tim
so he
Schafer.
wants. Okay, yeah, so he wants to produce Psychonauts 2, and he's having a hard time. Bentley, you're so dark.
Yeah, I'm brightening myself up real quick on.
He's
I
having a
noticed
hard
that,
time
so there you go.
getting a studio to fund the project, and it's kind of cool that Notch has actually come out and tweeted. You know, this came all over Twitter, or came about over Twitter, and tweeted, "Hey, let's make Psychonauts 2 happen." So I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to make mention of that.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever play Psychonauts 1?
No.
I did.
I don't think I've ever
It was
heard of
an
either
extreme.
of them. But
It's one of the kind of cult hits. I think it was one of the ones that
Yeah.
was really, really popular. If you'd played it, I think you were kind of addicted to it. It's that
Right.
it had that. I mean, if you've ever played a Tim Schafer game, you know it's a silly humor and good sense of humor in game. But as I say, I missed out on it as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I've seen people play it. I mean, I'm addicted to Twitch. I'll flick through channel after channel after channel, and I've seen people play it. And it's an interesting looking game. And as I say, it's got some stupid humor which tickles right into my kind of idiot brain.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's popular in its own circles, kind of thing. That's the way to look at it.
Right.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm just griefing my
Cool.
server right now.
Nice.
and we're
Cool.
back to Minecraft.
Yeah, back to Minecraft.
Yeah.
So, anything
Yeah,
we can
well,
expect in the near term on Dumb and Dumber? Any interesting videos going to be released?
Well, we're gonna change it up a little bit. We have been running adventure maps, one adventure map and one like challenge or survival map, and we're gonna shift gears a little bit and run 2 challenge survival maps at the same time. It seems like people really like to see us fail, fall, burn up in lava, things like that, and it happens a lot more. And I mean, the adventure ones, they're actually a lot of fun to play, but you know, finding a really good one is kind of tough. A lot of people tend to go after the challenge or survival maps because I don't know if they're easy to make, but it's on a much smaller scale. We have come across some really good adventure maps already, but we're going to shift gears a little bit, ramp it up a notch, and see if we can. I said notch. About
Ramp it
Minecraft.
up. Ramp it up a
Gotta do
notch.
that. Yeah.
It's funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Look at him.
wait.
He doesn't
Yeah.
need
Wait.
any more exposure.
That's a funny
that's-
guy.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run
Sorry.
a couple at the same time, and hopefully everybody will like that. It seems like it's becoming pretty popular. People seem to like it, so that's good. It's good stuff.
Nice.
And that
I like
secret thing that I'm working on right now, big. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. If you like Dumb and Dumber, you're definitely gonna like this. Definitely gonna
No.
like this. Yeah.
Oh well, then it's gonna suck.
cool.
Then, okay.
Oh yeah, gonna be big. Remember those EA games? Big. That's what it's gonna be. Remember that? It's like, what was that snowboarding game?
SSX.
SSX.
Yeah, SSX Big.
Eh?
Remember that?
New one
You-
out this month.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no
That's
one's
what
New
it's
one
gonna
out
be.
this month.
Big.
Of course, I don't
Brand new
know
one.
anything about
Nice.
it, but yeah, I just know it comes out this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
1440.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I got to wrap it up. We can continue on and shoot the crap or whatever, but as far as the podcast and the premiere or pilot episode here is coming to a close. I just want to say, mention one thing about, we talked about GTPO and the Minecraft server, but we will be announcing later this week the official public release date of the site, which will happen next week. I'm not going to say when exactly, but
Sorry, what's
expect some.
GTPO again?
Shh. Hyper.
That's my line.
Oh. Yeah.
Quit acting like
It's,
Bentley.
it's that site you haven't posted any videos to lately.
No.
Bentley?
Anyways, yes, sometime next week, guys. Yeah. So you don't actually have to register to go on. Anybody will be able to go on there. Although, why would the hell you not register? Come on, just be part of the community. And we're really backing this thing, so help us and join us over there. But that's it. Thanks to all you guys. Appreciate you
Roger that.
guys coming out. Love you guys,
Thanks
man.
for
I
having
love
me.
you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I mean, we
Yeah,
can
Twitter links in the description.
follow Colin.
Does this mean we can actually go back to speaking normally and I can start swearing again?